Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Varyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Now, last time we completed the Mundaka. Any questions or clarifications on that? Okay, there are no questions. I am going to ask one or two questions. What is the highlight in Mundakopanishad? Every Upanishad has something that highlights. What is the highlight?
The higher knowledge and lower knowledge.
Beg your pardon?
The higher knowledge and lower knowledge.
Okay, Paravidya, Aparavidya. Yes, that is something that is said. Remember, Brahmavidya is there in all the Upanishad, okay? That doesn't change. But
Knowing which everything is
as good as known, yes. Parikshalokan, the qualification of a student and teacher. Yeah. And how do you get to that qualification? Very important point, especially for a seeker. Because how do you get there? Important. Yeah. It is not just a question of living so many years. We live without examining any of our belief systems anyway.
Karma yoga, we get antakarana shuddhi, then upasana.
No, what is that? Who's speaking? Sorry.
Mangala here.
Yeah, Mangala, bolo.
Yeah. Through karma yoga, we get the antakarana shuddhi, and through the upasanas that are mentioned there,
Yeah.
we get chitta ekagrata, and then we go to self-knowledge.
Okay, good. Nicely said. Yeah. And there is also a lot of karma khandanam if you notice. Andena niyamana yatha anda, etc. Important. Because as much as Vedic karma is important, one has to see the limitation of it also. Many people don't see that. That psychological hold of that karma is very, very strong. Especially, see, one understands Ishvara, okay, abhinna nimitta upadana karanam, the whole order is nothing but Ishvara. That's all fine. If you really understood it, karma would have loosened its hold. But if karma hold is strong, psychologically speaking, even though at one level you are understanding Ishvara, at another level, your understanding of Ishvara emotionally is primitive. You are very God-fearing. In our Indian middle class society, that term is very popular. I am a God-fearing man. It is used complimentarily. I have to do all this, it's God's wish. He will get angry. I am not saying you will ever say that. Because intellectually you are fine. It's psychologically speaking, emotionally speaking that this issue comes up. That's why karma khandanam goes on so much in all the Shastras. Up to Brahma Sutras it goes on. In the Siddhi Granthas it goes on. There is a whole Siddhi Grantha, Naishkarmya Siddhi based on this. Because it holds. See, when you are teaching in contemporary times and modern times, you get all types of students. Some who are so hyper secular that they don't want anything to do with karma and upasana. That's one extreme. And the other extreme is people who are so committed to karma that they can miss a class, they can miss a camp just because some karma they have to do. Something small, nothing great. So, between these two extremes, one needs to have a balance. That's why karma kandranam is high, and it's, yeah. Everyone say about chitta shuddhi, chitta shuddhi, chitta shuddhi. Yeah. It's like, did I tell you last time about Gurudev's letter? This guy wanted some herbs from the Himalayas. He wanted some herbs from the Himalayas to do a Kaya Shuddhi. And Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanji, wrote him a stinker of a letter. So his friend says, Swamiji, it was all for Chitta Shuddhi, na? Why are you so harsh on him? After all, without churning the curds, you will not get the butter. And Gurudev answers it very beautifully. Yeah, he has been churning the butter all these years. The butter has come up, but Nayar is still the guy who wrote the letter was a Nayar, okay, Mallu guy. Now Mallu guys are normally not so caught up by karmas, etc. But this guy was. He says he is still churning the butter and the butter is melting back. So Chitta Shuddhi बोल के बैठेगा until the very idea of Chitta Shuddhi itself becomes a condition. Itself becomes a problem. That's why all those verses. Swayam Panditam Manyamanaha, etc. Pushpitam Vacham Pravadanti Ha Pandita. Flowery words they talk about. Doesn't deliver. And if it is Chitta Shuddhi, there are 100 different ways of getting it. Yeah, karma is a good way of getting it. Karma, upasana. But it's important to understand that the result of that bhakti should be seen in your life. One way of checking it out is, if you really have bhakti, how much fear do you have in your life? If God is with you here, what are you afraid of? Yeah, you're human, so some fear will be there. I accept. A little bit. Will be very little. But many of us are abhaya bhaya darshinaha. In God, we need not fear, we start fearing. God will get angry if I don't do this. और कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है क्या भगवान को? How strong is your bhakti when things go wrong? How strong is your bhakti when things go right? So all these are the ways you look into it. Oh, I still have fear. So what is the answer? More karma. I remember this champion telling me, I like this Swami very well because unlike other Vedantins, this Swami encourages karma. I don't want to mention names, who said it and who the Swami is. I know the Swami well, he doesn't encourage karma. He puts it in its place. That Swami I know very well. But this is the conditioning that people have, and one has to learn to deal with those things, okay? Even the other extreme. I don't believe in this puja and all. I only believe in the philosophical part of it. Oh, light a lamp or go to a temple, throw a flower at the Lord. करो तो अच्छा है. Is to highlight that for that Guru Puja I did the Archana. To highlight that is necessary, is good. Don't be too secular in your thinking. Secular is not anti-religion. Secular only means that you won't have religions affecting your political decisions in a multi-religious society. It doesn't mean you will become like France. In 2017, a sheikh from the UAE had said, 2017, okay, 6 years back, that France is making a big mistake by taking all these refugees. They'll have a big problem on their hands. A sheikh has said that. He says, people whom we want to put behind the bars, you all are welcoming as refugees. That's not the idea of secularism. So secularism is not anti-religion. Yeah. So keep all this in mind when you are studying an Upanishad, okay? These are some of the things highlighted in Mundaka, and very importantly so. And the understanding of Ishvara, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam, remember? With the examples of Urnanabhi, etc. So understanding of Ishvara is highlighted in Mundaka. And this is also highlighted. Qualification of a student, qualification of a guru. How do you get those qualifications? And that Samit Panihi, etc., indicating I am willing to do whatever it takes to gain the knowledge. That's important. That's why I told you the story of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Totapuri. How even as Ramakrishna as a seeker was conditioned by his karma, by his emotionally conditioned. And how Totapuri called him early morning. He said, why is this Advaita not being clear for me? He says, tomorrow morning meet me at the Ganga. Bring your Lala along. Because Ramakrishna at that time was worshipping Krishna in the form of a Balakrishna. Otherwise, in what is known in North India as Laddu Gopal, etc. And Ramakrishna is happy. Maybe Guru is going to teach me some new meditation, some new upasana. So he goes in the morning. He takes him in the middle of the river. Now drop your Lala into the Ganga. You stop going. You are going to stop that worship. Stop. How can I let go of my Lala? Catches him by the scruff of the neck. Drop. So if someone like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa could have that conditioning of karma, you think all of us here who are karmatas won't have it? Think about it. Those of us who do a lot of Vedic karmas, is there in Shankaramatam for everything. Ekadashi, you are there. Pradosham, you are there. Shivratri, you are there. I'm talking of Masa thing, okay? Every Monday you are there. Every Saturday you are there. In between Thursday also you are there. Every puja you participate. All these are good things. Don't let it be a conditioning. And there is a great tendency that it can be a conditioning. So to ensure it's not a conditioning, take a break. One day don't go. One day Pradosha Puja you do at home, don't go to the temple. Then see what happens in your mind. You will know how much conditioning is there. Similarly, those of us who have been brought up totally secular and things like that. Go. Walk into a temple on a Monday or something. There will be someone outside selling some milk and this and that. Go. Offer it to Shiva without looking here and there, feeling embarrassed if someone whom you know is there. Or do it tomorrow. Offer oil to Shani Deva right here in Chembur. It is there. Offer. Go. Acha hai. Without feeling embarrassed about it. What if people I know see me? It's okay. Let them see. What are you ashamed of your own Hindu heritage? Why are you ashamed of it? I am not saying you should wear it on your sleeve, but what is there to be ashamed of or to hide it? Yeah. So, it is these type of things that becomes conditioning that prevent us from knowing the truth. Because then we start only taking bits and pieces of the knowledge, not the whole knowledge. Any questions, clarifications, or we go ahead?
Swami, I have a question.
Who is this?
I'm here. Here. Swami ji,
I am trying to see,
I'm
but
not able to hear.
I am not getting any image on the screen except my own. Can you all see me?
Swami ji, I have a question. Yes, yes. Swami ji, I have a question.
Who is okay? Who is speaking? One second. Give me a minute, okay? I'm going to just change the server. Yeah.
But Swami ji, I have a question.
Hold on a minute. Okay. The connection is not very stable, so I'm just changing my internet provider. Because they are saying the connection is fine, but it is not. I can't get any image on the screen. And someone new is trying to join, also is not being able to join. Hold on a minute. Yep. Now I'm sure all of you can see me, hear me. Yes, Vijaya, what is your question?
Sir, my question is, Mundakopanishad, Mundaka means shaving of the head, right?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
It can mean also mean a frog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then how does it fit into this, that, what, how to connect the,
How come? What is your question?
so, but why that example is given of the Mundaka?
See, many of the Upanishads don't have any great meaning. Like, for example, Kathopanishad. the first word Kena is taken and said Kenopanishad. Ishavasyam, same thing. The first word is taken and meant to Upanishad. So one need not go and see the meaning of why an Upanishad is called like that. Or sometimes it's named after a rishi or something, like Kaustiki Upanishad. Okay? So otherwise there is no real meaning. Now people try to give a meaning to Mundaka because you are associating it with doing a Mundanam. Because there is a statement in the Veda called Sanyasya Shravanam Kuryat. After taking sannyasa, do Shravanam. Okay? So before you study the Upanishad, you take to sannyasa. And sannyasa involves complete shaving off. And the first Upanishad you are taught is generally the Mundaka. If you want an explanation. But this is a made up explanation. It is not found anywhere. Some teachers talk about it like this. Is it clear, Vijay? Huh?
Yes, Swami.
Yeah.
And one of the slokas ended Amritatva somewhere.
Yeah, Amritatvam generally when you hear in the Upanishad, it is talking about moksha. Another word used for moksha is Amrita, immortality. Nectar, Amrita nectar, it is this thing. What does it do? It gives you immortality. So this knowledge frees you from the problems of life and death. Therefore, it is called Amritam. So it is on that sense it is used, not in any other sense. Yeah. Any other questions with Mundaka, or shall we go ahead with Kata? Yeah, Rohit, what is your question?
Yes, Swami. So my question is, do we have a place where the student that comes in Mundaka, when after the teaching finishes, do we have that how he lives on his life?
No. See, the story starts with saying he was a great householder, used to do a lot of yagas, this, that, etc. That's why the word Pariksha Lokan is used. He had enough experiences to examine. That's why after Mundaka I am taking Kata, where Kata is the reverse. A youngster is going to go in the knowledge. Okay? A teenager, just into his teens, he is going to go and gain the knowledge. Therefore, you have two extremes, which proves that it is not the stage in your life that matters. Do you have Viveka, Vairagya, etc.? Then you are ready for it. If you don't have Viveka, Vairagya, you can be 80 and still not ready for it. This is what happens when you teach in a place for a long time, Like I've been teaching in Bombay since 85 onwards. It's quite a long time. So there used to be a lot of young men whom I knew. The Swamiji, what you are teaching is very good. I said, then come. If you think really it has got some value, why don't you come and sit in a class? Oh, too busy with work, etc. I'm keeping it for retirement. 40 and another 20 years they are retired. I've been teaching here for more than 35 years. So I catch them. I know they are retired, etc. Hey, you're retired now. Why don't you come? No. I have this person is waiting to attend. That person's. What do all retired people do? Go for every blooming wedding in the world. Is necessary? Not necessary. I'm coming. Why? Time pass ho jata na. Some distant relative who don't even bother about you, but because you are a relative, they have to send you an invitation. They send you an invitation. Write them a nice letter and send them a gift by post. Both ho gaya. Give a gift coupon on the post. Enough. But no, you'll go. Why? You go, meet everyone, you feel important, you feel nice, you are entertained for 3 days, you see all the politics that's happening in the wedding. It's all the relatives only that make all the politics, okay, in weddings. So you're caught up with all that. So you're not ready for Vedanta. You have lived a life, you have a lot of experiences, but learning from the experience has been very little. So you live on your past glories and tell people what a great guy you were. It's like one of the youngsters told me, the secretary of my society, in a meeting, in a general body meeting, you're only the secretary of a small little society like ours. You're not secretary to the prime minister or something. And that guy got very upset of the whole thing. बराबर है. So, it's Pariksha Lokan that matters. That is what is highlighted in Mundaka. And indirectly it's highlighted in Kathopanishad also. How irrespective of your age or stage in life, you can have the adhikaritvam to study, to walk off and study. Not just study anything, to walk off and study. What we are talking about, walking off and studying, people are hesitant to walk to a class now, even though 3 years after COVID. Reva de. So, let us look at the Kathopanishad. Okay, it is in the same 8 Upanishad that is there in volume 1. I had said that last time, it is there in the 8 Upanishad. Okay. Very interesting opinion. Okay. And the Dhyana Sloka of our Upanishad is again different. Okay.
Rahul had some question.
Shoot.
Rahul,
Shoot.
Rahul, go ahead. You wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You wanted to ask something, na?
Big.
So Rohit here.
Yeah, Rohit, bolo,
Yeah, I was just saying that the Sonaka was a student in Mundakopanishad.
Mundaka?
After in Mundakopanishad, the student was Sonaka. The student, the one who comes.
Yeah, the student was a householder and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So after so when Mundaka ends, so when the teacher teaches the entire thing to
Yeah.
Sonaka. So
Yeah.
do we have how Sonaka then lived on as a human being?
How?
How Sonaka then took this knowledge and how he gained this etc. Like
Yeah, after that, how we lived is immaterial. Therefore, the Upanishad doesn't mention it. Yeah, because you can do what you want. Once you gain the knowledge, you're established in the knowledge, what does it matter how you live? Yeah. What does it matter? Really, what does it matter? How you live? Yogaratova, bhogaratova. Life of yoga, life of bhoga, doesn't matter. Sangaratova, sangavihinaha. Loner type of guy or reveling in company. It doesn't matter. Your lifestyle doesn't matter after that.
thank you so much.
Yeah. People make up rules. Sadhu should be like that, sadhu should be like that. ये सब rules किधर लिखा नहीं है. Because when I take something, I take it seriously. So I examine all these things, okay, before. Yeah. These are all, see, there are certain guidelines given. They are only guidelines. And they have to change with circumstances, etc. There was a time when sadhus used to walk all over the place. Okay. End of the month, I am going to UK for a camp. I am supposed to walk from here to UK or what? I mean, I can, it is not difficult. But 6 months, nobody will have any teaching then. Are you getting the idea? So, these things have to be modified. Yeah. What the Upanishad says is live as you want. Not a problem. Yeah. Now, the Dhyana Sloka for this is again different. Okay. Om Sahana Vavatum Sahanau Bhunaktum Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Simple, the translation will give you what it is. Okay. If you want an explanation, let us both, the teacher and the student, be protected by the Lord. Now avatu, saha, he, now asmakam, both of us, dual form. Avatu rakshatu, may protect us. Okay. Sahanau bhunaktu, may we both enjoy the knowledge together. Knowledge understood, okay, because that's what we are doing. A teacher and student is not coming together for a party. Okay. They can do that before or after, but in the class, it's for the knowledge. Therefore, bhunaktu, them enjoy the knowledge, means let the knowledge be clear and become a part of them. Sahaviryam karavavahi, may we strive together in this, okay? Yeah. Tejasvina avadhi tamastu. Okay. We are all Tejasvis. Therefore, let that be very clear in my mind. Ma vidvishahi. May we not become upset with each other, angry with each other. Because I said in the Guru Purnima talk, you have to be compassionate. Marjara nyaya. You have to be confrontative. Markata nyaya. So, let us not get upset with all that. Shanti. Okay. From the divine forces, heavenly forces, thunder, lightning, etc. From flooding, etc. Local causes, including your neighbor and the racket he makes. And Shanti from yourself, your own body, mind, etc. Let them be at peace so that you can study. Suddenly getting a headache and things like that, difficult. So for that. Okay. 3 Shantis for that. I am not elaborating it because very simple. Okay. By the time you come to an Upanishad class, I expect that to be simple. Now it starts with a story. Why is there a story in the Upanishad? The story is called Arthavada. Arthavada are stories, examples, praise, criticism, etc. to highlight something. So here something is being highlighted. What is being highlighted? You have to see. Okay. Om Ushan Havai Vajashravasaha Sarva Vedasam Dadau. Ushan, one day. Okay. Or Ushan, after your desire of it. Okay. After your desire. Okay. Vajasravaha. Vajasravaha. He was known as a great dani. Someone who will give a lot of dhanam of food. Anna dhanam. Okay. This man was known to be a great dani. Anyone who goes to his door doesn't turn away without a meal. That way. Vajasravaha. See, Anna dhanam etc. was very important in those days because there were no hotels. There were no hotels. Nobody sold food. In India, food was not sold until British times. Before that, food was not sold. Why? How can you sell food? It's such a basic thing. You need food and water to live. How can you sell something that is so valuable to life? Therefore, food was never sold. It was always given. I mean, you can reciprocate your thanks, etc., if you can afford it by something, but generally, food was never sold. There is no price put on food. Now, not only we are selling food, we are trading in futures. We are trading in grains, which is what is pushing up the price of the grains, etc. Why? Old days trade, okay, let us say 200 years, we have been trading in grains, physically trading. Physically trading, I will buy 100 tons of wheat only if I have a warehouse to store it. But now, online, you can buy 100 tons, why you can buy 1000 tons and not have a warehouse? Naturally, the price will be pushed up. Trading in futures is a very bad thing for the country. I am going against the grain here, but it's a sidelight, okay? Therefore, Vajasravaha, who is known for that, okay? Being desirous of karma, karma phala, etc. Sarva Vedasam dadau. He gave away all his wealth. All his wealth. The Upanishad does not mention what ritual this was. Shankara doesn't in his Bhashya. He says it was a Vishwajit Yaga. The Yaga that was being done is called Vishwajit. Vishwajit Yaga is, so if you do that, Kuberam iva bhutale, on earth you will become like Kubera. All the wealth will be yours. Your Musk and all these characters are nothing in front of you. Jack Ma, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, all. You'll become far more richer than them. That much of wealth you will have. There's only one catch in it. During the yaga, you have to give away all your wealth. It's appropriate. Why? Because to gain that much of wealth is a great responsibility. That much of wealth can be given to someone who has got some vairagya towards that wealth, who can dispense off the wealth that you have. So can you give away all your wealth and make yourself pauper so that you can gain all the wealth in the world? That's why most South Indians will never become wealthy. Most South Indians will not become wealthy. You know why? Risk-taking ability is poor. They won't risk. If they have 5 lakhs, they'll put it to the fixed deposit. Or yaar, put it in shares at least and try. No. Hey, if you want to do it, it's your money, it's your choice what you do, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, if you want great wealth, you should be able to risk a lot. Only someone who's willing to risk a lot will gain a lot. South Indians gain by becoming professionals. Yeah. Whereas I'm generalizing. Whereas a Gujarati is a big risk taker. He is willing to lose everything. The wife will sell her jewelry so that the husband can start a business. Why? बाद में लेके आएगा ना. जब पैसा बनेगा तभी आ जाएगा. She is willing to do that.
Swami Narayan Murthy was an exception then.
Maybe. There are exceptions. I am saying mostly. I didn't say everyone. I said mostly. There are a lot of exceptions. I know a lot of industrial groups in South India. Many of them Swamiji's devotees also. The TVS group, the TTKs, Lakshmi Mission Tools, all of them have become very well off. I know all of them personally. All of them have become well off by business only. So I didn't say mostly. I didn't say everyone. I said mostly. Yeah. So this person, if you want to become as rich as that, give away everything in the yaga. No, that calls for a lot of shraddha in the yaga. It is like doing, similarly, the Kargiri yaga is like that, for rains. When the yaga is done, the priest, the chief priest, sends all the other people out. And the chief priest will set the whole Yagashala on fire and he will sit inside. Everything is burning and he is sitting inside. He can lose his life. Yes, the rain should come and put out that fire. He is willing to put his life where his trust is. Not that the trust will always work out right, yeah. But that doesn't mean you lose your courage to trust. Yeah. Just because you have been cheated once or twice doesn't mean you lose your courage to trust. You will trust. But these are yagas like that. Why I am highlighting this Vishwajit yaga? Because I read many books written by different authors that says the rishi was miserly. He kept all the good things to himself and gave away all the bad things. That's all idiotic. That's all said by people who don't know what the tradition and the culture was. That's why Shankara mentioned Vishwajit yaga. Okay. For him, tasyaha Nachiketo nama putra asa. He had a son, putraha, Nachiketo namaha, called Nachiketaha, and a son. Tamha kumaragam santam. He was a young boy. Puberty, pre-puberty, kumaram, the word is used for like that. Teenagers, early teens. Early teens. Dakshinasu niyamanasu Shraddha Avesha so amanyata. When he saw all that was being given away in Dakshina, Shraddha Avesha, he was overtaken by a great Shraddha. Avesha is like a spirit possessing you. He was possessed by Shraddha. Okay. That's the literal translation. He was possessed by Shraddha. And so amanyata, he thought like this. What did he think here? Pitodakaha, Jagratranaha, Dugdadoha, Nirindriyaha, Anardo namaha te lokaha, Tansa gacchati ta dadat. He is looking at all that is being given away. All the good things have been given away. Now what is being given away, he is looking at it. What is he seeing? All the cows, etc., that are being given. And the description is given is what? Pita udakaha. They are already drunk all the water that they could drink. Meaning, they are so old and feeble and useless, they can't even drink water. Pita udakaha. Jagdatranaha. They have already eaten all that they could. No more food to eat. They are not capable of eating. Okay. Dugdha doha. They are given all the milk that is possible. They cannot be milked anymore. Okay. Dugdha doha. Niri indriyaha. They are not capable of having a calf or anything like that. All their sense organs are completely gone. Old, feeble, useless cows. Okay. Old, feeble, useless cows. From where did this Rishi, Vajasravaha, have cows like this? Because in India, we looked after our cows. Okay. Why? Because human beings are the only mammals in the world that will drink the milk of another mammal. Okay. We all grew up not only on our mother's milk, but also on the milk of cows. Therefore, the cow was respected. It's almost like a mother to us. And in olden days, cows and all were, it was not that some cow somewhere is not, our thinking was not like that. It's all in our homes. In my village home, we had cows. And they were like our playmates, We used to play with all the calves and the this and honor and respect the cow that give us milk. There is a certain bond with the cow, which a modern city person may find it difficult to understand. Okay, but someone who has lived in a village, etc., will see there is a certain emotional bond there. Therefore, they were never sent to the pound to be slaughtered for his leather, etc. Because cows like this, what you will get? You won't get any flesh out of them. Only horns, leather, etc., to make shoes and things like that you can. Okay. Yeah. So, then he thought, These are the type of cows that. This is the boyishness in him coming out. Okay. Anando nama te lokaha. Those lokas where there is no joy, not ananda, not anandaha, anandaha. There is no nanda there, annandaha. There is no nandaha. Okay. For nama te lokaha. Into those lokaha, tan sagachati tam dadad. Those who give away this type of cows in Dakshina will go to all the joyless words, meaning they will know karma phala. All negative karma only will come. My father is doing it to gain punya, he will gain papa instead. He has not noticed that all the good ones have been given away. But remember, you have to give away all your wealth. You know, Kalidasa is a beautiful description of this. When the king Raghu does this Vishwajit Yaga, he was a king. At that, after having given away everything, he is sitting down, having a meal. That time, someone comes to give asking him for Guru Dakshina. Give me Dakshina so that I can give it to my Guru. And the Kalidasa's description is, the king is eating out of a clay pot. Why? All the gold and silver vessels, etc. are given away. Can you imagine the extent of things that you give away? You only have the shirt on your back. Sorry, the Angavastram on your back or whatever you wore those days. Your dhoti, your anga. That's all you had. Everything was given away. So similarly, this man, this Rishi is given away everything. Now whatever is there, these are also useful. Even though the description is like that, as far as milk and this is concerned, they are useless. But cow dung is still useful. They are manure. They are manure. Don't think it is, we have been so isolated from our own heritage that we don't realize these things. Our farmers also idiotic, don't realize all this. In Thane, there is a Vishwa Hindu Parishad set up where they have about 2,000 cows, all old cows, not milch cows, all old cows. They are just taking care of it. But it's a running profit center. Out of the urine and the dung, they make fertilizer, they make pesticides, they make this. Highly effective, they are making profit. They are making actual profit out of it. Out of old and useless cows. It's a profit center. Yeah. So these cows are still useful. They may not be useful for milk and things like that, or to plow your fields or something. They may not be useful for that. That's gone. But still, there is some money available. Okay. But the child doesn't recognize that. He says, all these old useless cows are given away. What is this? My father will incur sin only. Papa milega. So he goes to the father. He thinks, मैं हूँ ना. See, this is the childish thinking coming up. No human being is a property of another human being. Understand this well. This is old Hindu law, okay? According to Manu, Yajnavalkya, everything in the Smritis. No human being is the property of another human being. We did not have slaves in India until the Mughals and the Europeans came. We did not have slaves. In the description of Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc., you will find the word dasa or dasi used. Dasa was a servant. We had servants, yes, who were paid for, they had their rights, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. Like how many of you have maids coming to your home, no? Paid for. In fact, maids rule Bombay, isn't it? Tomorrow I have an early morning meeting. I forgot to tell my maid, come early. Hey, maids rule Bombay. So dasa or dasi is not an issue. Slaves you are talking about, because no human being is a property of another human being. Old principle in India. Therefore, that's why he is showing the error in his thinking. Sahovacha Pitaram. He goes to his father. Typical teenager, probably started rebelling a bit also at that age. Okay. Tataha kasme mam dasyasi iti. Whom are you going to give it to me? Whom are you going to give me to? I am useful. I may be young, but I can do a lot of things. If you give me away as Dhanam, I will be useful to that guy. Whom are you going to give me? Don't give all these cows and incur sin. मेरे को दे दो दान में. Okay. Dvitiyam Tritiyam tam whom vacha. He said this. Probably the father ignored it because he is busy with the yaga and things like all the thing. Giving away dakshina, seeing that everyone gets water. He ignored him. So second time he asked. Third time he asked. The father got irritated. Maybe a rishi, but doesn't mean he can't get irritated. Is there a rule? Is there a rule a rishi can't get irritated? Or a sadhu can't get irritated? No rule like that exists. Okay. He said, Mrityavetom dadamiti. I'll give you to death. In other words, he said, go to hell. In today's world, it's like saying, go to hell. Yeah, go to hell. I'll give you to Mrityuhu, Mrityuvedada. Okay. Now remember, these words have been uttered at the time of the yaga when you are giving away dakshina. They have to be taken seriously. Okay. So now the boy is thinking, very, very objective self-evaluation. If you look at her, very objective self-evaluation. Bahunamemi pratamaha, bahunamemi madhyamaha, kim svedasmasya kartavyam yanmaya adhya karishyati. Bahunamemi pratama, I am the first among many. Among many, I am the best guy available. Among many, I am aham madhyama. I may be in the middle, I am in the first position with respect to a lot of people. And there are people ahead of me also. The idea is, never am I the last. That is not said, but that's understood. Okay? I am ahead of many, and there are some ahead of me also. The objective self-evaluation. Okay? But I am never the last guy. I am never the useless guy in the batch. Okay? I am never the last in the batch. Therefore, Kim Swed. Okay. What is my father kartavyam? What have I done? Asya kartavyam. Yan maya adhya karishyati. That but today my father is giving me to death. What does he have to gain? What do I have to gain? What will death gain by that? Okay. What is the purpose there? Okay. What is the purpose? क्या कर सकता हो? By giving away to death, what should this say? But the boy decides. Probably there was mumukshutvam in him also, you know. Therefore, he must have had some vairagya, some mumukshutvam, because of what he is saying here. You said, give me away to death, na? So be it. So be it, he says. Anupashya yatha purve pratipakshya yatha tatha apare sasyameva mrityu pachyate sasyameva vajyate punaha sasyameva vajayate punaha. What a statement. Anupashya yatha purve. Look at how your forefathers behaved. He's telling his father that, okay? Look at how your forefathers behaved. How they kept their word. How they kept their word. A word given, especially in a serious situation like a Yajnashala, etc. A word given is given. Watch how they give. See how people who come later will look at you and say, hey, he said he'll give his son to death, but then he changed his mind. No. A word uttered is a word uttered. That integrity was important in India, you know. Okay. Sasyamiva mrityaha pachate. Sasyamiva, like corn, like paddy. Sasyam is corn actually. Martya, the mortals, we die, we decay and die like that. ये जीवन है 2 दिन के लिए. We die. And like how fresh corn comes up sprout again, we take another birth also in the same manner. Meaning, punarapi maranam, punarapi jannam, this is common. So, don't grieve that I am going to death, that you are given away to death. एक ना एक दिन सबको जाना है. थोड़ा आगे पीछे होता है इतना है ना. That is the idea. But you keep your word. प्राण जाइए पर वचन न जाइए. That is the thing. रघुकुल नीत हमारा, प्राण जाइए पर वचन न जाइए. Yeah. It's an old tradition. I told you about Dashaka Vada some time back, remember? Yeah, Dashaka Vada. Yeah. In North India, when a man gives a promise to a woman and the woman doesn't believe it, he says this. It's Dashaka Vada. He won't say Rama, he says Dashaka Vada. Dasharatha's words. Because Dasharatha lived and died by his word. Yeah, Dashaka Vada. Therefore, that is the idea. That. Okay. Therefore, you said, go to hell, I am going to hell. I don't know whether it will be hell and back, but I am going to hell, I will be all right. Okay, now we don't have ideas of hell like that. Mrityu, Yamaha, Lord Death. Okay? He is not a ruler of hell. Okay? Yama is a lord of death. He is a lord of death. Yamaloka. Okay? It's very different place. Very different. It's a different dimension. It is not like a place of suffering, etc. Why? He is living in style. Okay? He is also presented as a wise person. Okay? By position, by prarabdha, he is a lord of death. Devata he has become. By his own karma and upasana of previous lifetimes, he gained the position of a Devata, lord of death. Strange position to aspire for, but whatever. Okay. And he is also looked upon as the one who establishes justice, etc. No? Karma, phala, everything. So, even though he is a feared figure by many people, not really someone to be feared, someone to be respected for a great thing that he is doing. Because if death was not there, we will not be able to stand on this planet. We won't have an inch of space. So death is a very natural thing that is necessary. Okay, yeah. Okay. So there he says, okay, therefore I am going. मैं जा रहा हूँ. Mrityu, to Yamaloka I am going. Now where is Yamaloka, how we landed there, etc. no one knows. Okay. Some people say that this dialogue between Yama and Nachiketa took place near Uttarkashi. There is a Parvata there called Nachiketa Parvata. I have climbed that. It's a mountain called Nachiketa Parvata, but there was no Yama found. Okay. I did not come face to face with Yama as a person or a situation. I did not come face to face. It would have been interesting, but that time I didn't come face to face. Okay. Yeah. In fact, you can see the Nachiketa Parvata from the Chinmaya Mission ashram there, Tapon Kuti. You can see it from there. Yeah.
That's a Nachiketa Sthal. There is a small
Yeah.
lake.
Pond also, yeah, as a lake also. Yeah.
All of us went
Yeah.
there.
So we don't know. Yama must have been, yeah. Maybe he was a great teacher who had the power of life and death over people, you know. So therefore called Yamaha. Yeah. There were rishis like that. Mahatarvan Jabali was someone like that. With a word he could make the living dead or the dead alive. One word was all that he needed. Therefore, maybe that's what he was. Whatever. There is no idea of how he went. But that he went. That much is there. Then what happens afterwards? After he has gone there. Okay? The dialogue starts from there. Straight away. After reaching Yamaloka, what happens? But that we will see next class. Okay? Yeah, next Friday we will see that.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
what is the meaning of Nachiketa?
I don't know what the meaning of Nachiketa is. I have not looked into it, okay? There must be some meaning, but I have not looked into it.
Okay.
I just took it as a name, doesn't matter. What is the meaning behind Chitragupta or Vishnu Gupta or something, whatever. So I took it like that, yeah. Okay. Good place to stop. Beg your pardon?
Name of the yajna.
That yajna comes afterwards. Yeah, the Nachiketa Yaga comes afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, that
Nachiketa Agni comes after Nachiketa was already there, not before.
You said why this was performed yajna, the name is not mentioned in the book.
Yeah, but we'll see how the name comes about.
So what is the name of the yajna?
The name of the yajna before, I don't know what it was.
no, the one that is performed Vishwajit.
No, Vishwatit Yagya was not. The yajna that was given, that the father was doing was called Vishwajit. The father was doing Vishwajit Yaga. Yeah, not anything else. Yeah. There is a Nachiketa Yaga also, but that was born because of Nachiketa, that Yaga. Yeah. Yeah, Yama gave it to him. Yeah. That we will see in the time. Okay. Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.